So when looking at the Declaration of Political Status document, it's referenced the territorial citizen of the United States and the municipal citizen, the citizen of the United States and the United States of America citizen. Sorry about that. And the question is do we still need to address the municipal federal citizen aspect of that in the political status document, or should that be removed?
Look, the basic bottom line here is that as an American, you're standing over here. You have you, the actual literal person on the soil, and you have your lawful person that is international jurisdiction.
Okay.
Okay. With those two identities or persons or,
yeah,
you can do everything you ever need to do.
Okay.
As a people with a small p, you do the things of life. You give birth to children, you get married, I'm not getting the order straight here. You live and die here as a people with a small p, okay? And then you have a person, which is your proper given name, standing on the land of your country, okay? That gives you national and international standing. And from that position, from the lawful person position with international standing, you can conduct international trade. And that's really all you need to have a completely full life, do everything that you need to do. And it's all right here protected between people with a small p, the soil jurisdiction, and people with a big P, the international jurisdiction of your state. It's all right there. You don't need any more. Now, if you decide to go out on the high seas and navigable inland waterways, say that someday I decide to take a trip and go out in the middle of Lake Superior on a boat, and I'm out wandering around and cross into Canadian waters. Guess what? Well, then my legal person is supposed to kick in. A territorial legal person that is a trust called a foreign situs trust, a trust in transit that the King or Queen of England is in charge of. Now, people need to think of this. Your lawful person is your proper given name, okay? Your legal person over here that snaps into being when you're on the high seas and navigable inland waterways is spelled exactly the same way, styled exactly the same way. All right, but because you're an American, this legal person is an American legal person. It's not a British territorial legal person. Okay? As an American, the King owes you safe transit. Okay, that's part of the treaties and the agreements that we have with the British King and with the government of Westminster. So over here, this is international sea. And way over here, you have the global jurisdiction of the air.
Right.
And this is where all these other things occur.
Mm-hmm.
This is where they come up with LLCs and foundations, public transmitting utilities and special purpose vehicles, and all this other fanciful crap happens over here in the international jurisdiction of the air, which is the realm of ideas.
Okay. Okay, so the answer is yes, we would still need to have the municipal and the territorial because we're referring to jurisdictions there, right?
Right. And the thing is that you're supposed to be protected as an American. The way that you're not protected is if you act as a British territorial or as a municipal citizen. So you have to nail down the fact that you're an American before you have any constitutional guarantees or protections from these yahoos in these other jurisdictions. If you don't nail down the fact that you're an American, then when you go out on the high seas and navigable inland waterways, the king's privateers can just swoop down on you and claim you as salvage and haul you away. And that's what they do with great gusto. But if you are an American and they have to back water and go, oh, well, that's an American vessel. We owe it safe passage. You see?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And because our government wasn't in session for such a long time, they got real brave and arrogant and started presuming upon us.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we were out here in the territorial jurisdiction on the high seas and navigable inland waterways, they would just look at us and say, oh, well, that's a municipal vessel. We're going to attack and seize that. And as we were standing here on the high seas and navigable inland waterways, the municipal pirates would say, oh, that's a territorial person, a British territorial vessel. We're going to attack and seize upon that. And we're just standing there with our pants down around our knees going, what in the? We don't know what's going on. We're back over here thinking, well, I'm an American standing on my land and soil, so that should be obvious, but it isn't. Uh-huh. It's not obvious because, our government hasn't been in session. And number two, our parents didn't know the difference between recording a birth and registering a birth.
Right.
And our dear friends in the bar associations didn't tell us.
Mm-hmm. Right. Now, does it make a difference if the citizen is all caps or uppercase or lowercase when you're referring to citizens in the territorial or the municipal jurisdiction?
Well, the way that they set this up so that they could keep track of their own fraud and who was playing what base, right, was that the territorial person has the same exact legal name structure as your lawful person. So it's upper, lowercase, first, middle, last. But then when you get over to the municipal side of it, all the way over here in the jurisdiction of the air, then it's all capitals.
Okay.
It's corporations by definition.
Gotcha.
Okay. So if you can envision this as a spectrum, with the solid side of life being over here, the living people and their lawful person standing on the land, and then you come over here into the middle, things are getting from solid to liquid, right? You're melting. Okay. So now things are getting kind of squishy and less defined and more liquid and movable and more iffy over here in the middle with the legal person in the international jurisdiction of the sea. And well, over here, you're up in the air. It mirrors, solid, liquid, vapor.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. And then is the word citizen in the territorial proper case, and in the municipal, is it all caps? Okay.
Right. And basically what that all caps means is it's a municipal corporation.
Ah, very good.
You could have a territorial corporation too.
Right.
Okay. But that would be upper lowercase, and the Inc. would be upper lowercase. Mm-hmm. The incorporated part would be upper lowercase. And with the municipal corporation, they just do it all uppercase, and that is notice to you that you're dealing with a corporation. And there are only two things that can be named using all uppercase.
A corporation.
And the estate of a dead man.
Ah, those are the only two things, huh? Interesting. Good to know. Thank you for that.
Links to Anna's articles and resources can be found in the video description box. Thank you for subscribing, liking and sharing.